big issue, but in the US, we use toilet paper to wipe your ass.
Well, still dirty. But in Asia, we use water.
Why do Muslims use water instead of toilet paper?
Okay. Let's use peanut butter as an example, shall we? Toilet paper. Ah, that didn't work out so good. Now, let's see why we used water. Give it a quick little scrub down. A little pat to dry. And as you can see, which one would you like to pack around with you all day? So we do use toilet paper, just to dry, not to smear.
What's the issue with toilet paper, Chris?
What's happened?
Well, experts say...
An expert in toilet paper.
Well, an expert scientist, maybe desperate for researchers, looked into this, but has actually said we shouldn't use toilet paper. It's bad for our health and unhygienic. Now, I've been using toilet paper for 73 years, and I'm in pretty good health, right? You know? But what's interesting, the specialist says the toilet paper does very little to keep people clean. It removes some poo and just moves the rest. Now, in fact, there is some truth in this, especially if you're a doctor when you're examining patients down there in an emergency situation where they haven't got time to tidy themselves up before they see the doctor. I've seen that in emergency departments when I've had to do a rectal examination. You see remains of fecal particles in the bottom end, especially in hairy men, because the hairs, right? But
You've painted a vivid picture.
But then also, we've all heard about skid marks.
Yeah.
Skid marks on your underwear, that's from fecal exterior to the anal canal. So it's so the solution, well, a bidet. But I mean,
well, that's very fancy.
Not everyone's got the space for a bidet.
Or can afford to put the bidet in now following this. Wet wipes. You can get flushable wet wipes. I don't know how flushable they are.
Well, you wanted something, I mean, certainly we're all talking about, desperately trying to be more environmentally friendly. We were talking about it over there a moment ago.
Yeah.
Sort of the last thing you want to be doing is flushing something down the loo that's not biodegradable. It's not going to completely disappear.
That's
it's going to clog up the sewers.
Yeah, it's got to be biodegradable. Well, another thing is, if you move your bowels every day, well, say in the morning, well, move your bowels and have a shower. Right?
Yeah, but sometimes the timing's not that.
No, it's not. But in trying to get round this, the Japanese, they've got high-tech toilets.
They've got it sussed, really.
You get a burst of water and then warm air to dry you. Now, the thing is, I want to give an important message here about wiping your bottom, and this is aimed at women who may be in particular prone to water infections, cystitis, urinary tract infections. Women who are prone to those water infections should wipe their bottom from front to back.
Well, that's how I always teach my children.
Yeah, from front to back. Because if you do it back to front and you're a woman, you're transferring bacteria from the anal region to the vulval region where the urethra is, and easy access of the bugs like E. coli into your urinary tract.
So anyone watching now who's thinking, well, I think the way I've been doing it, no, I'm not talking about, the last point that you just made, but the general toilet paper in, whether or not we should be using that or finding some other way, is going to think, well, oh, it's worked all right for me. And it's, this is something else we've got to worry about now.
Exactly. I would say this is not to be worried about. As you say, it's another. I mean, we do this every week, don't we? We get these stories from the scientists, and most of the time we just sort of, poo-poo them. Poo-poo them. Sorry about that.
Very good.
Well, the author, Rose George, claimed that using toilet paper does very little to keep people clean, explaining that using toilet paper simply moves feces, which is what you said, rather than removing it from the anus. I'm going to read this bit out now. This was fabulous when I read this morning. I find it rather baffling that millions of people are walking around with dirty anuses whilst thinking they are clean. Toilet paper moves, but doesn't remove it. So
look around you, millions of people. I'm not looking at you.
Every one of you in here.
You're just moving it around, guys. I'll be honest.
I don't know about you. I had a shower this morning.
You timed it perfectly.
The use of a toilet in the non-Islamic countries, they use a napkin as a toilets, and how should we make a complete tahara? That's a very good question, because in foreign countries like in America, Canada, and UK, and I'm sure many Europe countries have the same concept of using a toilet, and they usually have a napkin rules that you take it out and you can wipe out yourself even after one number or the two number. And they use napkins. But what about the Muslims who are working somewhere, or maybe they are going around and they will just go to the public bathroom, or they will the place of work or place of anywhere where the water doesn't exist, and they just use the napkin rolls. So what is the instructions for this type of Muslims? Well, I'm going to really instruct all those Muslims who are working and they have a problem of traveling on the roads. I recommend them to take a small bottle of water and keep with them in case they know that they're going somewhere, or at the workplace or somewhere they have a little bottle with them. They can use it for their toilet. So each time the person is working somewhere, there is no facility of with the water bucket, so it is recommended to use the bottle of water and keep it with you all the time, just for your using a toilet, the people who was working at the job. And those who are been traveling and they want to use the public bathroom, it is recommended for them to buy a small bottle of water and use that for one number. And if they have if they're looking to do number two, and they have to buy a big bottle, and they can fill that out and use a part of a napkin to clean up yourself, and then once it's cleaned, then use the water at the end. But no, not use the water at the first place, because it might finish again and again, so you will have a problem to washing. So it is recommended for them to use the napkin at the first to clean up yourself. When everything is clean, then use the water to wash up everything. At the number one is okay, but at the number two, this is the better way to do that, to make sure you get a complete cleanness, because using a napkin, it does not clean yourself, except that for the number one is not totally clean, and for the number two it's totally not clean at all. So they definitely need the water when you do number two.